Let's get ready to rumble!
Rainbow is burning down, more riots all around. I'm inside like fuck 'em all. What's the main event on Raw? Boys, mad cow disease. I get that with double cheese. STD steady spreading. Bear back up in this net. I don't care.
What up, y'all? It's the Joker's Galley right here on the Fago Lovers Network. Not another edition of 5 Piece coming at you today. A brand new show we're going to put together. It's going to be more of a series than an ongoing show because there's only so many matchups we can do, which you'll figure out once we get into talking about what's going on. It's going to be called Versus, Insane Clown Posse versus Twiztid. Ain't no fucking beef going on. If you know me or Rome, man, it's all about the music with us. We ain't throwing no shit. So if you're trying to like tune in to watch us like expose ICP or Twiztid's never before told fucking secrets, it's not that at all, man. We're going fucking all about the music. That's how we keep it. And like I said, if you know this dude from watching Beneath the Dirt, you know he keeps it about the music too. So I had to have him as the co-host of this show. Rome Bone, what's on? What's going on, man?
Chilling, man. Yeah, when you hit me up for this, I was like, yes, man. Like I was telling you in the pre-show, like I've always wanted to add a second show during the week, and this was the perfect opportunity. Even though it's like a limited time thing, this will be dope as fuck, man. And I think I've always wondered, how the discographies, how they would match up, and this is the perfect opportunity.
I remember a couple of years ago you put out a tweet who has the better discography, and that's one of the things that made me think of the show going back whenever I was watching Bone and 3-6 versus. I was like, man, that'd be so dope if fucking ICP and Twiztid could do that. And then I started thinking, like, juggalos know their whole catalog so well, you could literally do that album for album. And then once I was thinking about that, I was thinking about how dope it is whenever we review albums over on the Beneath the Dirt channel. I always have a ton of fun reviewing albums. So I was like, how could we work that into an ICP and Twiztid versus type thing? And then one day I was just sitting around fucking waiting for DoorDash to show up, and I looked at their discographies. And if you look at the discographies, they actually line up fucking perfectly right now. Like the next time somebody releases an album, it no longer would be like this. But like right now, as it sits, it'd be Carnival of Carnage versus Mostasteless OG, Ringmaster versus Mostasteless Island Reissue, Riddlebox Freak Show, Great Malenko Mirror Mirror, Jekyll Brothers Green Book, Bizarre versus Man's Myth and Mutant. So it's the two even like lining up, and we're going chronologically here. The two double albums even line up fucking perfectly to do it. Then you get into the Wraith Independence Day, Hell's Pit versus Wicked. Like I'm looking forward to that episode already, man. Like Tempest, Heartbroken and Homicidal, Bang Pow Boom, Abominations, Mighty Death Pop, The Darkness, Lost versus Continuous Questions, Found versus Generation Nightmare, Fearless Fred Fury versus Mad Season, Flip the Rat versus Revelations, and Yum Yum versus Unlikely Prescription. So literally the discographies line up perfectly right now, and it's 16 total matchups. So if we end up at the end of the whole run and it's 8-8, where we've both said that we think each of the artists have won 8 times each, then we'll have a tiebreaker where we'll go into the music videos, which also line up perfectly. So the 17th show, ironically enough, could be the tiebreaker if we need it. So it lines up perfect. It's a perfect time to do it. So I thought it was time to do it. Rome jumped on board. I was like, it's time to go.
Yeah, hell yeah. When you sent me the list for the discographies, I was looking at it and I'm like, there's some good matches here. I think there's good matches all across the board because there's been highs and lows throughout their discographies. The highs match the highs, the lows match the lows. Like it's crazy how the discographies line up.
Yeah, and doing it as they came out in time, it's also like you're not putting Riddlebox up against Generation Nightmare to where people have grown up with Riddlebox for 25 years now to where it makes it impossible. Now Generation Nightmare is going to go against something that came out damn near the same time it did. So it's not going to be a lot of nostalgia. It'll be about, like we said, the actual music.
Yeah, it's gonna be dope, man. It's something I've always wondered: who has the better discography? Uh, does it really matter? Probably not. But we're gonna break it down, album by album. Because I mean, from beginning to end for both ICP and Twiztid, just crazy. ICP been putting it down for 30 years. Twiztid, 25 years at this point. Like their discography, and the fact that they're still making music and like good music at that, like just goes to show their longevity. And it's just gonna be fun, man. I'm looking forward to this shit.
Yeah, it's not really about putting them head to head and fucking battle or anything. It's about putting all that music in people's ears that might have missed it. You got to think, man, like we said, they've been around 30 and 25 years. There's some newer juggalos that might have missed some of this classic shit coming up. So, and that's what I've known doing 5 pieces of, we'll have a juggalo in the comments saying, damn, I never heard that song. I'm glad y'all brought it up. So we're going through literally the entire discography of the main album. So I think, like I said, it'll be a way to highlight the music. And that's what it's all about, the music. So we'll go ahead and get into the music, the actual track list of Carnival of Carnage. What we'll do is we'll go through each album, quickly run down the track list. And then after we do that, me and Roan's each going to pick 5 songs from an album to highlight that we think is the best. We're not like picking a side when we're doing that. We're just picking what we think are the 5 best to highlight the album. Then after we play those 5, we're going to say who we think are the best. We'll pick which one we think wins out of the album battle. And then we want the juggalos in the comments to put their opinion after they watch the entire show, which album you think won, what you think Carnival of Carnage or OG Mostasteless is better. We'll bring up some of the thoughts and opinions next week on the show to get the audience a way to get their voice out. And we want to know what the juggalos say, because me and Ron's just 2 people. Like the juggalos is everybody. So we're going to keep a running total throughout the entire thing. So we'll keep Ron's total, my total, and the juggalo total and see how it ends up fucking scoring out. Go ahead and jump into going with the Carnival of Carnage track list. Of course, you got the classic intro, which set up the whole fucking mythology of the Dark Carnival. So you think of intros as like a skipper, but this one's so important. It's something that still holds weight today. So I think you got to bring that up. Carnival of Carnage, a dope ass mix by Isham. Ironically, tried to call it Carnival Carnix. And then once Jay discovered, he tried to change it back. He's like, no, just leave it like that. I'm glad Jay decided to do that shit himself, because I don't know if Carnival of Carnix would have fucking looked as fresh on a t-shirt.
No, not at all. And that beat is a banger. That's like a classic beat. They've used that over the years for like commercials and shit like that. I love that beat, man.
Yep, they used it a lot for JCW. Whenever they would promo JCW and shit, they would use that shit. And then go into an absolute classic, the Juggler. I mean, talk about how the intro kind of laid out the Dark Carnival shit. This song, in my opinion, is the first like Wicked Clowns like song, just where they perfected it. Like they went on to perfect it later on in the albums. But the Juggler, man, that's a Juggalo classic from the first time I heard that motherfucker in '98.
Yeah, and it's possible that the word juggalo derived from the juggler as well.
Yep. So history in that track, an all-time classic. They play it to this day. Move it on to First Day Out. Ironically enough, we'll also be talking about that on the Mostasteless OG, because that shit's on there, covered by Twiztid. Classic enough song that fucking 6 years later, Twiztid's covering it. Definitely a dope-ass juggalo classic. First Day Out. You go into Redneck Ho. Another one that kind of sets up the just ideology of ICP, what their thoughts are with it, and how they almost kind of taught juggalos to not be racist and fucking shit like that through songs. This is one of them for sure that started it off.
Even though it's like a song like Redneck Ho, it's pretty, but it's like making fun of like the racist aspect of rednecks and shit.
Yeah. And you always go back to like Jay saying he had to live in like North Carolina, I think it was a few years or a few months, and he said he'd never seen like the amount of racist in there. He didn't think that was real. He thought that shit only happened in movies. Then he's seen it firsthand. It really stuck out with him, and he started getting this type of shit like Redneck Ho. Moving on to Wizard of the Hood, an all-time fucking classic. I mean, you could tell Jay had this story in his head right along, and then he ended up making the fucking EP to go along with it, another Juggalo classic. But this standalone song itself is one of the dopest tracks on the entire album, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, Wizard of the Hood is like it was on Intelligence and Violence. Wizard of Del Rey was like the first version of Wizard of the Hood. Then you had Wizard of the Hood on Dog Beats, and then Carnival of Carnage, and then he did the whole EP. It's just classic shit.
Yeah, you see like the way it evolved, like the way that he kept hearing it and it never was good enough for how he heard it in his head. He knew it could be better and he kept evolving it every time and stepping it up.
Yep.
Moving on to track 7, Guts on the Ceiling. I know we just talked about it on a 5-piece. You brought that song up because of that crazy ass story that Jay told. Fresh ass song for the first fucking 25 years I heard it, but once he told that story, man, that song was just set to a new level.
Oh, without a doubt. After that story, it was like, this song is so much better now because it's such a messed up story. You know, his friend's father or stepfather killing himself and going to the trailer and showing the blood and guts all over the ceiling and shit. Like, wild.
Yeah, like the way that slipped by never got talked about for 25, 30 years now at this point, up until he talked about it, is fucking crazy to me.
Oh, without a doubt.
I'd be telling that story every time I was talking to somebody for like the magazines or fucking MTV News back in the day. I'd have brought that up any opportunity I've got.
Absolutely.
And this is next song is something that got brought up a lot because it was the first to feature one of the artists. They got the 2 biggest artists locally in Detroit to be on the album, which they brought up a lot. They talk about it in Behind the Paint. Kid Rock and Esham both appeared on the album. It'd be Kid Rock on this song with Is That You?
Yeah, Kid Rock's super whack. We all know that. ICP has made it clear that they don't fuck with Kid Rock anymore. And yeah, it's funny, you know. This is high top Kid Rock back in the day. Grits sandwiches for breakfast, you know.
Yeah, this is like touring with like Too Short and Ice Cube, like era fucking Kid Rock for sure. But even then, like Jay and Shaggy were talking about him in the studio, like showing like signs of being a racist and a bigot and shit in the studio, and it just always rubbed them the wrong way immediately. And then you go back to Mikey Clark. He did a podcast and he was talking about how he made that All Summer Long beat for Kid Rock, but he made it for Jay. Jay came up with the idea. He said he heard Werewolves of London on a fucking radio, called Mikey Clark and asked him to fucking whip something up. And then Kid Rock ended up with the motherfucker because he was working with Kid Rock at the time, and Kid Rock heard it before Jay got it. So I always thought Jay was bullshit when he told that story. I was like, there's no way that was like his fucking beat. But now, like, fucking Mikey Clark confirmed it. Then fucking Kid Rock not only took it from ICP, he didn't fucking pay Mikey Clark any of the royalties from it. Like, I worked at a bar for 10 years where that song got played all the fucking time. And every time I heard it, I was like, at least that's fucking like 2 cents in Mikey Clark's pocket. That's how I got through having to listen to that fucking shit over and over. But nope, he didn't even get paid for that, just to make Kid Rock even whacker, man. Kid Rock ripped Mikey Clark off on like something that would have probably paid him what his entire work with the Clowns would have paid him. Because that song, All Summer Long, was fucking a huge hit. So he'd have probably made more off that than his entire work with ICP, and fucking Kid Rock robbed him out of it. So fuck Kid Rock. We'll move it on quickly to a fucking great song that got taken off the Island version, Night of the Axe.
Night of the Axe is a classic. It's a shame they took it off the Island version for whatever reason, probably sampling or samples. But yeah, man, I love that shit. It's the first song of the Night of series, and that shit is just showed up to your high school prom with an axe in my motherfucking palm.
Hell yeah.
Fire.
Yeah, that song reminds me of what like Beverly Hills. It's got that sound of Beverly Hills. Whenever Beverly Hills came out a couple or a year later, I think it had like the sound of that one. And Beverly Hills is my favorite EP by them, so definitely dig that shit. Psychopathic, you know what I mean, another fucking classic. I don't even really have to explain much about that. Still one that gets played to this day, man, and I'll sing along to it top of my lungs whenever I hear that shit. Got that fucking Halloween beat.
That shit's a fucking anthem. I love that song.
And then moving on to a song that Island didn't love once again and took it off, Black in Your Eyes, which was Kick Jazz and Too Dope. Like, the funny thing about that, I remember they were on Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and they were in the courtroom because somebody had like killed themselves listening to their music or something. They were on court for, or they're in court for it, trying to be sued. And like the lyrics the lawyer brought up were from Black in Your Eyes.
Oh,
I was like,
really?
damn, yeah. Like he verbatim reads fucking the Black in Your Eyes lyrics to him whenever he's reading like lyrics that are bad that ICP has put out. And I was like, damn, like some juggalo must be involved in that show, because you don't even know about this song unless you have the OG version of Carnival of Carnage, because this was before the streaming days and shit. So you actually had to know your shit. So I was impressed that they used that.
Yeah, and that's the only song we ever got with the Utzler brothers. You know, just them on a track. You know, rest in peace, John Kick Jazz.
Oh yeah, it'd have been dope to hear like an EP of just those two like together.
And the subject matter of that song is so fucked up. Like that shit would never fly today.
No way. Like I remember whenever Kick Jazz passed, they were talking about this song, and like Shaggy was like looking over at Jay when he was talking about it, like wondering if he should even like bring this shit up. Like he's like, don't want to get them canceled.
Right.
Like 20 years after the song comes out, they're still fucking worried about talking about it.
Right.
Moving on to track 12, Never Had It Made. They just played that over Hallowicked Weekend, another fucking classic off this album.
Yeah, I love that song. Great storytelling from Violent J, as you know, just as he did throughout his entire career, still doing. Just I love that song.
Moving on to 13, kind of the same sentiment with Redneck Co. You got your Rebel Flag. Such a dope ass song, man. Like classic T-shirt that they put out, and they've re-released that so many times. It was funny that whenever like the whole fucking thing about like getting rid of like rebel flags and like government and statues and all that shit was going down, like ICP people started like propping up ICP about that, and I was like, man, y'all are 20 years late. This shit has been out for a minute. It's not like they just put that shit out. They re-released the shirt, and I guess people thought it was new. I was like, man, like, you know, like that shit came out in 92.
Yeah.
Like listen to them. They've been setting trends for a while.
Absolutely. That, I mean, I love this song. The beat, everything about it. Stop the bus. Violent J comes out, barrels to your chest, and blow your lungs out. That shit is fire.
Yeah, another one of those ones that would go on, like the style that would go on to make up a majority of Beverly Kills that just I immediately are drawn to whenever I hear that shit. Talk about track 14, another one that laid out kind of like the mythology of what was going on with the whole juggalo thing with Ghetto Freak Show.
Yeah, Ghetto Freak. Ghetto Freak Show.
Yeah, that's just dope, man.
Hell yeah, I love that song, man. Carnival of Carnage is I feel like it's a little underappreciated these days.
And I think it has a lot to do with the majority of juggalos that heard it didn't get to hear it with the two of the better tracks on the album.
Yeah.
If you think about like the majority of juggalos own the island version that got put out. They're, you know, the only people that had the fucking OG version were people that were local Detroit or Ohio, Toledo area, or knew about ICP to fucking seek that shit out. After it fucking got re-released by Island, that was the only one you could get. That was the only version you could get for a few years. I know Island eventually put it out with it on there, and then Psychopathic since put it out with the full-on album. But I think that's the reason that a lot of people probably sleep on it, because they just think of Carnival Carnage and they think of Night of the Axe and Black in Your Eyes not being on there. And that's fucking two pretty dope-ass songs to take off, especially Night of the Axe.
Yeah, hell yeah. That shit's so hard.
And then we talked about the two guests, wrap it up with Taste. Isham on the track, man, went on to just be a tradition in the juggalo scene. They've got fucking groups together. They perform together, have tours together. This was like the first taste of it, ironically enough.
Yeah, man. Isham on here kills it. Jumpsteady's on here. The whole fucking crew is on here. Capital E was on here, who they did a couple songs with earlier in their career. Just a great posse cut. Great way to end the album.
Yeah, I always mark out for the posse cuts that ICP or Twiztid put out, especially whenever it was Psychopathic, both of them putting it out on the same, which we'll get into it whenever we're talking about this next album. OG Mostasteless. Got the intro, nothing really special going on with the intro, and then you get into Secondhand Smoke, and that's the reason I'm a Twiztid fan. I was at Hallowicked '98, didn't know fucking Twiztid other than $85 an hour because their albums weren't available locally, and they were new as fuck. So like, Cottonmouth Kings was supposed to be on the show, got kicked off because Saint Dog was fucking crazy, and and it ended. And I don't know if they ended up putting Twiztid in their place or what. but Twiztid got to do a few songs, like a little set. They weren't rocking fucking masks or anything. They were just straight up rocking like the hoodies and fucking like camo pants. And I heard the fucking first lines of Secondhand Smoke. I represent the East Side, no peace. Fuck the police. And after I heard that, I had that shit just going in my head the whole time I was on a Greyhound bus back from Detroit. Then I went to the record shop when I got home, picked up Mostasteless, been a fan ever since. So that's a huge song for me.
Yeah, I remember finding it before even the reissue came out, finding it at a local record store. Somehow Psychopathic got it to record stores. And yeah, that Secondhand Smoke, it was the first song I ever heard. And as soon as that beat drops and Madrock comes in with those first two lines, it's like, okay, I'm already down. Like these dudes are fucking fresh.
Yep. And like I said, it was supposed to be Cottonmouth Kings, and I was like salty that Cottonmouth Kings wasn't there, so I was probably gonna hate on whoever they replaced them with. But as soon as I heard that right off the jump, man, I was down. So that song's huge. Move into another classic one from that same time frame that made a lot of fucking Juggalos fans of them. Die Motherfucker Die. I know it was on a performance of it was put on Born Twisted from one of the concerts that they did, and it was just another one. Like I said, it was one that Juggalos just latched on to immediately.
I smoke too many cigarettes, get high too much. Oh no, I get that. I fucking love that shit, man. Great crowd song too. You got everybody screaming, "Die, motherfucker, die, motherfucker, die." That shit is fire.
Yeah, sing along anthem for sure. That's why it worked so well, and they wanted to highlight it on that Born Twisted DVD. Well, VHS when it came out back in the day. That's what I had. Moving on to Triforce Smoke Break, just kind of a little interlude or whatever, but dope that it was actually like a weed related shit going on with Juggalos, because ICP didn't really rep it, so you kind of got a little taste of what was to come whenever you think of Bags on Freak Show, and then going forward just tons of weed songs coming out. But whenever it was new, man, that shit hit different. It's like, oh shit, these dudes smoke.
Yeah.
All my homies and me smoke. Listen to this shit. It's fucking goes along perfectly. That's why Cottonmouth Kings got so big with Juggalos.
The first Juggalo weed anthem.
Straight up. And they still play it at concerts too. Like it's so well known and recognized. They'll throw that in during a little break where they're getting a drink or whatever. They'll throw that shit up there. And then talking about classic, might be my favorite song in this genre ever. Murder, Murder, Murder. I mean, fucking classic, man. It's the most brought up fucking song on 5-piece for a reason, because it's classic. It's just them lyrically breaking down murdering people, and done in like a storytelling way, like the Juggalos are used to, because that's what Violent J does. Just a classic.
You look up horrorcore or wicked shit in the dictionary, and this song is right there. Just, man, they both kill it on there. The beat is fire. ROC killed that beat. I love that song, man.
And the sampling, murder, that shit's fucking dope.
Hell yeah.
Moving on to a track we talked about, being on Carnival of Carnage. It's on this one as well. First Day Out. Love this song because, like I said, I was new to Twiztid, but I was already fucking with ICP, so I knew this song. So whenever I had a new album that I just bought from fucking FYE because of Secondhand Smoke, I had another song that I was looking for and able to sing along to because it was basically the same lyrics. So I was able to learn that shit quick as fuck. So that was dope.
Yeah, and it's, you know, just one of the perfect examples of ICP and Twiztid doing cover songs and just absolutely killing it. I love Twiztid's version just as much as I love ICP's version.
Yeah, Twiztid and ICP do a hell of a job of cover songs for sure.
Yeah.
Move it up to Somebody's Dissing You, another one that was a classic off of this one because it got taken off of other albums, so people wanted to know why I got taken off and just wanted to hear it. So that was the main reason I heard a lot of people talking about this song.
Yeah, the dope thing about this song is you could tell it's one of the early demos, and there's a couple songs on here like the demos that they were recording after House of Crazies, but before Twiztid, because they're still referencing themselves as Hectic and Mr. Bones.
Yep, I think this was one of the songs that must have been on the tape that Jamie gave Jay to get them signed, because they weren't, like you said, they were done with House of Crazies at that point, but they weren't Twiztid yet. I guess they were calling themselves, was it ISI?
Yeah, Infamous
something like that.
Superstars
Incorporated. Yep.
Yeah, with Blaze, and Blaze is on the original version of this song.
Yep. And talking about people being on songs, go with a posse cut that was on this one, Meat Cleaver. Love this fucking song, man. Like, it was just a flex of psychopathic skills that you actually got Misery on the song, which is rare to get Misery on the shit. Big time Misery Mark to have him on the songs, just icing on the cake. Fucking dope ass track for sure. One of my all time favorite posse cuts when we did that episode over on 5-piece.
Yeah, psychopathic anthem right here. Running with a meat cleaver. It's just perfect. They all kill it on here. Like you said, I fucks with Misery heavy. I really wish we would have got an album from him back in
Yeah.
98, 99, like a full length. He killed it with his bilingual shit on here. Fire.
Yeah, and like you said, the running with a hatchet or running with a meat cleaver thing was perfect. If you missed it, the name is Twiztid.
Yeah.
Shags and Jay, Insane Clown Posse, and then whatever fucking Spanglish shit the Misery said.
Yeah.
But yeah, dope ass track. Moving on to track 9, How Does It Feel? Another classic Twiztid track. The thing I remember about this song is it being on Fat or Whack whenever they were promoting the repop of Mostasteless, and the host of the show reads the song. He's like, the song's called How Does It Feel? It probably feels whack.
Yeah.
It's just dope, man.
Yeah.
Dope ass song. Like there's no bad songs on either of these albums. That's like we were saying, the strong albums are matching up with the strong albums in this matchup. So that's what's so fun about it.
Yeah. How does it feel? Just that classic early hardcore Twiztid shit that matches up with Secondhand Smoke, Murder, 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 like just that in your face shit.
Yeah, almost more on a hip hop tip than a horrorcore tip.
Oh, without it, yeah, there's a few songs on this album where it's like just kind of just some straight up hip hop shit.
Moving on to track 10, which is She Ain't Afraid, one of the sex songs by Twiztid. My favorite sex song in the entire juggalo genre, man. It's so fucking like brutal. Let's get high and just fuck. I mean, right off the bat, like I was talking about with Secondhand Smoke with those fucking first bars that fucking Madrox spits right there, man. As soon as I hear that shit, it's fucking on.
Dude, Shaggy's part. First time I heard this, and Shaggy he wasn't even rapping. He was just going off, and he's
talking
like, I
shit.
like him skinny, bald, tall. I'm like, God damn, dude. That shit had me dying. Still gets me fucking crying, fucking laughing this day.
Crippled spines out their back. I don't give a fuck. Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Bring it on.
Yeah. Sound like he had just smoked like 15 fucking Swisher Sweet fucking blunts before that. His voice all raspy as fucking shit.
Yep.
This is like whenever I was dating a chick in '98, it was a juggalette. This is the only song her mom wouldn't let us listen to in the car or in the crib that she could hear. Like she'd care about all the murder and shit, but she heard that song. She's like, y'all can't play that shit.
Yeah. That's a foul song.
And I got like to show how much 1998 it was. Like I got a funny story about that shit. Like we got back from the mall and I bought my chick a Limp Bizkit fucking like girly fucking tank top shirt, and we was playing fucking Most Tasteless, and like we weren't fucking paying attention to She Ain't Afraid coming up, and that fucking song comes on like right at the time like my chick's changing into the new shirt I bought her, and her mom like busts in the door fucking saying to turn that fucking She Ain't Afraid off, and her daughter's got like her shirt off in front of her fucking boyfriend. She's like, get out of the room. So this song legit got me in trouble back in the day, but it's still dope as fuck.
That's hilarious.
Another classic coming up right after that one. Like we said, classic after classic. What the fuck? One of my favorite all-time Twiztid songs again.
Oh, hell yeah. What the fuck, man, is just they play this shit live. You getting hype as fuck to this day, man. Just a banger.
It's got that samples from the Halloween movie and shit. Really get you into it. The OG one does, especially that they used all those fucking samples. They couldn't probably clear it with Island, but on the OG one that we're talking about, it's got those. Moving on to another Smoke Break, same thing we talked about with the first Smoke Break, just kind of like an interlude thing going on. I already mentioned track 13 a little bit, $85 an hour. I think it was probably the introduction to Twiztid for most juggalos because it was on Forgotten Freshness, and that was the first. That was the first that I had that had Twiztid on it. Then I got Pumpkin Carver at Hallowicked '98. So I think $85 an hour is probably the debut for Twiztid for a lot of juggalos.
Yeah, I said earlier Secondhand Smoke was the first song I heard, but that's a lie. This was the first song that I heard. I just didn't think of it because at that point, I just didn't discover them, and for whatever reason. But yeah.
And it's a freestyle song with like other people, so it's not really a Twiztid song per se, traditional. So yeah, I don't really think of it as the first Twiztid song I heard. Like I said, I think of fucking Secondhand Smoke as well. And then the album ends like with a great fucking song, Renditions of Reality, and that was one of the big things with Juggalos, man. ICP always in them Joker cards and even the sideshows with fucking epic tracks. So Twiztid had to fucking match that shit if they wanted Juggalos to pay attention. They did it with this one, man. Still a classic to this day.
Without a doubt, my all-time favorite Twiztid song, Renditions of Reality. Like, it hits different nowadays. You live a little bit of life. It hits different. I love this song, man. Yeah.
Yeah, another one of those songs, man. Like you talk about, like Pass Me By. You listen to it whenever you're fucking 16 or whatever, first hearing the shit. It hits totally different now. Whenever you listen to it, 2022. Oh,
without a doubt, it's songs like this one. When they come on, depending on my mood, it's like I don't know if I'm ready. Because I might start crying and shit.
It's one of those you might skip if you're in like a fucking like happy mood, singing of all the shit. Like, I don't know when I get there. Boom.
Right, yeah. But even if I do skip it, it's still my all-time favorite song.
Yeah, I remember we did a top 10 Twiztid songs over on the Speak Your Cloud channel with Mike Series. I remember that being your one track. It's up there on his too. I think it might be his 2 because Murder is his 1.
Yep.
Like we said, man, no fucking skippers on that fucking entire breakdown right there. 2 classic albums. We're talking about how the discographies line up perfectly, where it's just fucking monster versus monster in some of these matchups. And this is definitely a monster versus monster matchup. What we'll do now is go ahead and just pick the 5 tracks that we think highlight that 2 albums the best. We'll let Roan do Carnival of Carnage, and I'll pick from Mostasteless. What you got first, Roan?
First, no particular order. I gotta go Wizard of the Hood.
One time, the ICP with this shit for you and your boys and say fuck yeah, too. Yo, Jay, kick some of that shit about the Wizard and all that. Drop a psycho beat and go on rap, forehead as fuck. Shit, homeboy, you should have seen me. I was flipped at the party, drinking 5th of MD. Straight passed out on his mother's bed. 7 cans of brew going through my head. Dreaming, I was sipping on Fago. In my dope house and here comes a tornado. I can't run nowhere, cause the whole damn house was spinning through the air. Damn. And don't laugh just yet. Yeah, it's flat in their motherfucking eyes. Bang! And here comes a 3.5-foot pimp with a blue zoot suit and a Mac Daddy limp. Yo, I got a grip on my weapon, cause this midget motherfucker and his boys are stepping.
Oh my, look at the witch. You crushed and killed that wicked old bitch.
And they saying that I'm doomed, cause I killed some hoe that rides on a broom. Fuck this, I'm going back to where I stay, and I'm walking down the yellow brick alleyway.
You're up to see the wizard. Sing it loud. You're up to see the wizard.
Dropping motherfuckers all the way to Delray. Dropping motherfuckers all the way to Delray. Well, go on, motherfucker. Now I'm roaming just like a bass head. Everybody knows just where the alley led. And don't say you don't know which way to go. Yo, they got a scarecrow. I ain't playing this bullshit no more. So I whip out the nickel-plated double four. Best tell my ass how to get back, or I'll blow a straw at your fucking head. You wanna see the wizard? Fuck yeah, I do. Give me up this pole and I'll come with you. You know the Wiz? Yeah, it's the roll for him. Then he gave me out a G, now I got a bullet for him. Now me and the crow was walking on bricks, spitting and cussing and holding our dicks, thinking, damn, this ain't how the movie go. I ain't seen one motherfucking rainbow. Ain't a fresh pair of kicks in the land. Just what you thought. They go to 10, man. How to get to the wizard?
What the fuck? I ain't saying shit till you oil me up.
I don't see any motherfucking oil, bro.
Oil me up with the 40 of Red Bull.
Just like the book said, Tin Man was stumbling like a crackhead, old ass rusted out metal. But we was on our way to see the wizard of the ghetto. Yeah.
Fuck up, bitch. Damn, this ain't Kansas, ho. This is a Southwest motherfucking ghetto zone, bitch. So pick your skank ass up and you and Toto get the fuck on.
Yeah, we've come a long way. Dropping motherfuckers all the way to Delray. And I'm a Wonderland storybook tourist. Gripping that 44, we coming up to the forest. Anything could be out there. Lions, tigers, and maybe a bear.
Hoods and hoodlums and thieves, oh my. Hoods and hoodlums and thieves, oh my. Hoods and hoodlums and thieves, oh my.
I'ma kick somebody in they fucking eye. Don't fuck with me at a time like this. I'll send out a bullet, guarantee won't miss. So much as moving, the hooks are flying.
They come and buck with the fucking line. I want rings, chains, any kind of gold.
Or what?
Or I'ma let this 9 on
Yes, come back to Del Rey. There you can rob motherfuckers every day. Crackheads, hoes, whatever you can name. Catch all the rich ones coming out the ball game. So finally we was at the castle, and with them guards, we got no hassle. They all just got the fuck out our way. I guess even in Oz they know a Violent J.
You're up to see the wizard. Sing it, man, sing it loud. You're up to see the wizard.
Dropping motherfuckers all the way to Del Rey. Dropping motherfuckers all the way to Del Rey. Yo, it's a motherfucking wizard stay. Who wants to know? Violent Psychopath J. I want a word with him at gunpoint, cause there's no place like Detroit.
Welcome to the Wizard's Kingdom. The Wizard of the Ghetto, as you say. Welcome to the Wizard's Kingdom. Sorry, motherfucker, this is where you'll stay. Scarecrow, you ain't shit to me. And the lion ain't shit but a snack for 3. Tin Man, don't take me for a sucker. I chew your ass up and spit bullets out, motherfucker.
We let it rain, 79 slugs to his motherfucking brain. Then I stepped back cool and calm, because a Tin Man was dropping cluster bombs. Everybody know about carjacking, so me and the fellas went home macking. Jumped in a smooth ass ride. Drop top Geo says whiz on the side. Gripped it back to the hood where we came from. And that shit was fun. Next thing I knew, I was back at the party, got up and was finna to tell everybody. But then I just let it pass, cause I know they'll laugh at my drunk ass. We dropping motherfuckers all the way to Del Rey.
Classic shit, man. Just that storytelling from Violent J. It's Wizard of Oz, but it's Wizard of the Hood. Like we're in the hood, and he's got the characters in there. You know, the Tin Man, the Lion, and the Scarecrow, and all that shit. It's a fire song.
And it's a storytelling song, which is something you want to highlight about that album. Like if you're wanting to highlight some of the best trademarks from that album, storytelling is definitely one of them. It's one of Jay's fucking classic fucking characteristics.
Yeah, without a doubt.
For me, my first track will be Meat Cleaver.
Twiztid, any insane clown posse, forming a 50-foot Voltron in your ass. Your worst nightmares couldn't fuck with this. Run that I'm rolling with the psychopathic, make a movie, shaking traffic, leaving motherfuckers in caskets or wrapped in rentals plastic. Cause we psychosomatic and schizophrenic lunatics, holding my balls with your bitch and goals, the tip of my dick. We real sick, bitch. Run and tell a friend, twisted into the beginning becomes the beginning of the end. The world down me, a healthy hand of pain and lies, and you can see the hate in my eyes. It's no surprise. It ain't shit, bitch, believe that. Suckers claiming they paid and can't even handle they weed tax. I leave tracks like a needle. You phony as the fifth Beatle. Fuck, I'll be on Indeedo, rockin' Toledo like a trooper wad, leaving your conscience in a super wad. Fuck a Smith and Wesson, I can grab the Ruger wad. And right before I shoot ya, I snap your back like I was Lex Luger, chronic weed abuser. As we capitalize an enterprise music scene, money motivated, goal in the dream like Martin Luther King. Hesitators pause when we crack they jaws, moving over they town like Super Bowl. Like rolling bones in the zone like that, making suckers spasm so hard they lungs collapse. Twiztid the sound, something that your worst nightmares couldn't fuck with. Prepare to duck, bitch, cause I'm running with a meat cleaver. And if you missed it, the name is Twiztid. Red-eyed invasion, minority and jump steady, plotting retaliation, suffocated dirty cats, player hated gats, we pack it, Scullies and army jackets, headed out of psychopathic. I got a plan, so stack the ammo in the trunk. The word is they downtown, we don't front. Spark the blunt, give them what they want. Psycho thugs, Lotus slugs, loco, and like our inside getaway rides. Ese besa stimulation para mi caco pato arrebatado. Muchacho, cockslow, estoy borracho. There go that Mark Acho. My shit is jammed for you plan, but he's wounded. Badly move quick or pull back me. Being chased down this dark alley. I'm on that ass minority hollering. I got out, pull out my blade, carved it in him like a manzana. No back to the ride, florid corpses, no remorses. Psychopathic and Spanish side, we joining forces.
los locos insane clown posse. Psychopathic records para siempre.
I smell garlic, my head hurts, cause my brain is cursed by voodoo wizards. My skin turns blue and I start to shake. My tongue comes out like a snake. Boonga, boonga, huli kupo. That's my Ugandan voodoo flow. You don't know what it meant till the next day you wake up with your dick in your homie's butt. I might grab your face, twist your neck and then let it go. And then Shaggy climbs up my back and we attack and hit you like a 10-foot ninja. I paint my face like a clown. Other times I paint it like Sting and come down the rafters up at the mall and throw old folks to the ropes and chop their throats. But I ain't no wrestler. I'm a serial murderous killer molester. Nah, just juggling your balls a bit. It's Jay who's into that shit. Yeah, fuck you. And if you wanna get lippy, I'll stretch your lips out and call you Skippy. Bottom line is we twisted like Sam Kinnison's back after the car wreck.
Talked about it, man. It's just the fucking posse coming out. And whenever I got it in '98, man, that fucking psychopathic family was growing. Like it was going from just ICP and the fucking juggalos and other acts. And this was like the track that highlighted it. So it's a classic. Gotta have Meat Cleaver on the 5.
Without a doubt, man. When that shit comes on, yeah, the psychopathic and all that shit.
Twiztid, yeah, that's just dope.
Yeah, I love this shit. They all kill it with their own styles too. They don't try to switch it up. They all have their specific styles that they do. You know, the back and forth with Madrox and Monoxide, and then Jay and Shaggy, and then Misery with the Spanglish shit. I love it.
Jay with I paint my face like a clown. Other times I painted like Sting and come down from the rafters up at the mall and throw old folks to the ropes and chop their throats.
So dope.
Yeah. They highlighted everybody's like flows like you're talking about. They did their own thing on there. It was like almost like a sampler. They used to put out samplers back in the day. This song was like a sampler. Like, look at how we're flexing on this.
Yep, without a doubt. Next up on Carnival of Carnage, I've got to go Rebel Flag.
Stop the bus, Violent J comes out, barrels to your chest, and blow your lungs out, motherfucker fucking hit. I kick you in the mouth, sway your fucking lips up. You swallow them teeth when I do, and me and my boys will run a train on your Thelma lip. Then break her fucking back, goddamn bigots ain't all that. So I'ma cut your brain out, reach in and pull your spine out. Welcome to the Carnival show. You're invited, you and your bitch flow, and the wicked clown's gonna jack, cut your legs off, and if you crawl back, don't step to the city folk. Bitch, that's why you got your titties broke. So get back on your aardvark. Don't let me see a bigot coming through Clark Park. Cut his neck with my good blade. 34 years old, still in the 3rd grade. Yeah, speaking on others. Look at your hootenanny ass motherfucker and your bearded bitch. Hey, fuck bump jaw and your rebel flag.
Fuck your rebel flag!
Fuck your rebel flag.
Fuck your rebel flag!
Fuck your rebel flag.
Fuck your rebel flag!
Fuck your rebel flag.
Fuck a rebel flag!
Fuck your rebel flag. Been down south, you can't tell me.
Hillbilly, hillbilly, hillbilly. Uncle Willie, acting nilly. Old bitch, cooking up fiddles. That fuck on the porch, playing the fiddle. You know I'd love to show you that ghetto style. Take you out back, throw you in a shit pile like for the inner city. I'd whip your ass, but you're shitty and funky, like the pigs you eat. Picking that shit off them yellow feet. Don't step so much as cough, or I'ma shoot you in the back till your chest falls off. What you say ain't always hype, so I slap you in the face with a lead pipe. Teach your kids what Pops taught you. And he's a funky ass bigot too, fell short of the due respect. Don't speak when slap you in your red neck. Fuck all that bullshit you stuck on. Get back on your mule and get the fuck on. Don't look back, I'ma hit ya. Take that redneck bitch out with ya. Spit on your rebel rag. So fuck you and your rebel flag.
Wilbur,
I'ma cut his neck,
Hoss,
I'ma break his back,
Uber,
I'ma stab his face,
Jed,
I'ma slit his throat,
Wilbur,
I'ma cut his neck,
Hoss,
I'ma break his back,
Uber,
I'ma stab his face,
Thelma Lou.
I'ma fuck her in the
Hillbillies listening down south. Hillbillies listening down south.
I'm up and I'm headed for the south. Been to put around a buckshot in your mouth to blow the back of your fucking neck loose. Hillbillies run around like a headless goose, cause you try burning down my cross. Fat sweaty racist hick named Hoss. Fuck, you sleep in the barn and you fuck your horse. Brick to the head, put your back on course, yeah. But you know I chill. Cause if I don't flex on you, the others will. Straight folks in the south won't have it. They put around and you race his ass quick. The cool in the south team up with the north and blow that bigot off his fucking horse. So put away your goddamn twine. I'ma cut your pipe and take your little moonshine, then drink it all up. Barrels to your face and blow your fucking head off. Keep on gunning cause of what they said. Punk, I put a slug in your bald head, scalp a skinhead quick. And your greasy ass triple clan ain't shit. Zip me up in the bag, and I'll shit on a motherfucking rebel flag. Yeah, shit on a rebel flag. Fuck your rebel flag. Fuck your rebel flag. Fuck your rebel flag! Fuck your rebel flag! Fuck your rebel flag! Fuck your rebel flag! It ain't shit! Fuck your rebel flag! Fuck your rebel flag!
Fuck your rebel flag! Fuck 'em. Yeah. Fuck your rebel flag! Rebel flag! Fuck your rebel flag! It ain't shit! Fuck 'em. Fuck your rebel flag!
I'ma cut his neck,
Hoss,
I'ma break his back,
Goober,
I'ma stab his face,
Jed,
I'ma slit his throat,
Wilbur,
I'ma cut his neck,
Hoss,
I'ma break his back,
Goober,
I'ma stab his face,
Thelma Lou,
I'ma fuck her in the ass,
Wilbur,
I'ma cut his neck,
Hoss,
I'ma break his back,
Goober.
I'ma stab that motherfucker in his
Bitch!
This song sets the tone for what ICP's all about and what they would rep throughout their entire career. Fuck rednecks, fuck racist rednecks. And it's just a hard ass song, man. The beat, like I said earlier, Violent J comes on talking about barrels to your chest, blow your fucking lungs out. Motherfucker fucking hick. I kick you in the mouth, sway your fucking lips up. That shit is fire, man. Shaggy kills it. John Kick Jazz kills it on here, man. Just a fire song.
Whatever we was rolling around like in our teenage early 20 years, me and my like juggalo crew, and like I'm 6'2", like 220, and my homie Mooch like 6'5", 280, and like we always had like other juggalos with us as well. We'd see a truck with like a rebel flag hanging out the back of it, or like painted on the back windshield or whatever, and we'd fucking start following this motherfucker playing that song, like yelling, just hoping they'd fucking get out of their whip.
That's hilarious, yeah.
Just straight up play that shit as loud as we could, knowing like that dude could hear what the fuck we're saying, and like just hoping the motherfucker would. Nobody ever did though.
That's funny.
Moving on to me, like I said, She Ain't Afraid, my favorite like sex song from the entire juggalo scene.
So what's up, man? This shit ain't going down.
Trust me, I know her, man. That's gonna go down. Just be cool, be cool.
Talking about shit.
Trust me.
Alright, look, then I'm gonna go in there. I'm just gonna start freaking that bitch down and blowing her
She
mind.
ain't gonna say shit. Why? Damn, Tina, you look mighty comfortable laying there naked. You mind if I go ahead and pull my dick out?
Oh, no, hell no.
You like that?
I like to get my face poked. That really gets me going. And I like what he does, what he's doing to me right now. He's stroking my pussy really lightly.
Don't you? Damn, it's all types of pussy rubbing and shit. What the fuck I'm supposed to do?
Honey, fuck my face.
Man, come on, man. Man, watch out, man.
This is my hookup.
Man,
This is my hookup,
man.
nigga.
Let me, man.
Get your ass
Come on,
away.
Let me,
This is my shit.
Come on, man. Let me hit that shit first.
Oh, shut up. What I need is this cock in my ass.
You want to get like it.
can just fuck. I hit you till you bleed, and we can just blame it on the weed, little freak. Sucking me off, making my knees weak, rubbing my nuts when I come, making my voice tweak. She makes me feel like a champion. Late night when I call, she knows what's happening. I got a box of condoms and a mind full of tricks. A freak just for fucking in my balls and my dick. Get it started, legs parted. I hit it so hard the pussy farted, and now it's time to depart it. She took the rubber off and then she shoved it in her mouth. It felt like I came from down south. Know about it. Pussy pleasing's just a part of the game. You gotta bang it till it falls right off. I do the same. Rub my dick in cocaine and freak some nasty shit. It ain't the same without the pain. Bring the flavor bit. 2-on-1's not a problem, so you can bring your girl and I can get the best of both worlds. Fuck until I earl. Toes fell off. Fuck a curl. She kept nibbling my nuts like a squirrel. I hit the weed and flick the ass on her back, fucking her friend in the face until her jaw snapped. Oh shit, I can see her sucking on her tits and I can't help but notice 4 fingers in the clit. She's a pro. I thought I saw her pussy glow. It could have been the sweat in my eyes. I don't know for sure. This freak's the shit. For loving dick is sick, but man, I love that fat bitch. She ain't afraid to admit she likes dick, and she ain't afraid to admit she likes a pussy lick. She ain't afraid to let me fuck her in the ass, and always got her mouth open for the cum splash. She ain't afraid to admit she likes dick, and she ain't afraid to admit she likes a pussy lick. She ain't afraid to let me fuck her in the ass, and always got her mouth open for the cum splash. Excuse me, lady, did you say you like to fuck? Drop my drawers to my ankles, give my dick a suck. You like it rough? I can feel my shit swelling and expanding. A one-way trip down south, a crash landing right in your pink fun. I get the job done. Daddy was a pistol and I'm a son of a gun. As I shoot my load on your chest and titties, gotta get my shit. We off to the next city, go a long way just so I can grind ya. Got enough dick for Miss McCarthy and the 50 single hoes behind her. A sidewinder, never like the old timer, keeping hoes properly worked like Jane Fonda. My anaconda's got a mushroom cap and an immense craving for your pussy cat. Keep it moving like that. My dick is hard as steel, and I'ma freak that ass with some more sex appeal. Tell me how it feel when I push it all in. Eyes rolling the back of your head, and you start to grin. If sex was a sin, then a wicked bitch you be, with creepy ass titties and an eerie ass pussy. So ride my broomstick until you hear me come, and school me on the methods of your pink fun. Yeah. She ain't afraid to admit she likes dick, and she ain't afraid to admit she likes a pussy lick. She ain't afraid to let me fuck her in the ass, and always got her mouth open for the cum splash. She ain't afraid to admit she likes dick, and she ain't afraid to admit she likes a pussy lick. She ain't afraid to let me fuck her in the ass, and always got her mouth open for the cum splash. Yeah, know what I'm saying? Yo, this be the Shaggy, down with the psychopathic family, down with Twiztid G, know what I'm saying? And yo, check it out, I don't give a fuck, I like to get skinned. I don't know about you motherfuckers, but yo, I like them big, I don't give a fuck what. I like them skinny, bald, retarded, crippled, spines on the back, I don't give no fucks. 800-pound bitch, come here, sweetie. I'ma fucking tell you shit and not tap that shit. Know what I'm saying? Cause I love me some skins. I ain't going another route, you know what I'm saying? I ain't a fucking 900-pound bitches netting from the back. You know what I'm saying? I wrap her legs backwards and do a Boston crab and go to work, you know what I'm saying? Fuck that shit. I ain't no fucking fag like that. I like them stubbly so there's whiskers tickle my balls when they suck my dick. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck. What? Bring it on. She ain't afraid to admit she likes dick, and she ain't afraid to admit she likes a pussy lick. She ain't afraid to let me fuck her in the ass, and always got her mouth open for the cum splash. She ain't afraid to admit she likes dick, and she ain't afraid to admit she likes a pussy lick. She ain't afraid to let me fuck her in the ass, and always got her mouth open for the cum splash. She ain't afraid to admit she likes dick, and she ain't afraid to admit she likes a pussy lick. She ain't afraid to let me fuck her in the ass, and always got her mouth
that's one of the things that stood out so much about Mostasteless is just the way they were able to capture you and draw you in immediately with some of these songs. And that's what they had to do, making their debut on Psychopathic. So it worked perfectly.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I feel like they probably used Mikey Clark's extensive porn sampling knowledge in the beginning of this song too, because Mikey Clark and ICP are known for sampling like the craziest porn shit from like the 60s, 70s and shit.
Yeah, just see Tunnel of Love.
Yep. Just a classic fucking song. Next up off Carnival of Carnage, I'm gonna go Night of the Axe.
Showed up at your high school prom with an axe in my motherfucking palm, and I jumped on the front stage swinging. Necks and backs went flinging, and to toe I went psychopath chick, chopping throats with a hatchet, cause they trying to get me. So I took a head with me, ran down the hall butt naked. If you got a life, I'ma take it, cause I got it going on, and I broke to the female John. Motherfuckers think I'm sick. You ever seen a bitch take a shit? Fuck that, let a dookie ass speak, cause female shitting is news to me. Climbed on the fire escape. How many lives can one motherfucker take? 1 life, 2 life, 3 life, 4. Throw me a Mac 10, I'm about to take more. 50 lives coming out 80. Fuck this, I'm finna fuck this lady. Tied the bitch up to the light post. Slap her in the face cause I'm psycho. Beat her down and beat her up. Fucking slut, some bitches make me wonder. Kicked her gut and left my number. Call me fucking nympho. Then I threw her through a window. Look, and I climbed up a tree. Came back down. I don't know why. Straight up insanity. Damn, if it ain't a family. Hope they come home soon. Cause I'm waiting in the bedroom.
Sparky, we're home, Sparky. Watch your foot, honey.
Honey, where's Sparky? Mom, Dad, Lisa's in the bathroom, and I've gotta go really bad.
Don't worry, little Joey. I'll get the bitch out. Like it? Have another. Diced up all Cinco. Then I threw him in the pinto. Now I'm on Verner bumping the funk with 5 dead bodies in the trunk. And I'm doing about 90 to the blue and reds behind me. You can pull me over, Jack. Just don't look in the back.
Hey, what's your fucking hurry, son?
Just don't look in the trunk.
We got a wild one here, he's naked.
Just don't look in the trunk.
He's got blood on his hands and face.
Just don't look in the trunk.
Be advised, the car's registered to a Wilson family.
Just don't look in the trunk.
Oh, the trunk you say, huh? Okay, what do you say we just have a look-see here? Oh shit, don't let him get away!
I'm gone and I ditched the ride and left the dead Wilsons inside. Jetting and I'm hopping fences. Finna do like my man in Killeen, Texas, cause I'm psycholistic. You looked once and you missed it. Looked twice and it caught your eye. Me beating the shit out of some guy with a bag of bricks, impressing them dirty ass sewer chicks. A klepto you can't trust. Should've known when I jacked the bus. 14 passengers riding it, 1 naked psycho driving it, and we going dripping, and there'll be no slipping, cause I'm thinking the worst. Shit like women and children die first. Make you shiver when I drove that bitch in a river. Everybody dies, only me survives. Innocent fucks is what I want, so I'm headed for the restaurant.
Oh shit, Paco, I'm fucking full, man. Fucking burritos, man. Fuck me up, man. Oh shit, duck, man, fuck. Come on, motherfucker!
It's always gotta be a hero, but I can't be stopped with silver bullets or a wooden stick. It's your life I quickly take. Don't talk shit, I take 'em. Take your life, take your life. Cappers and choppers pursuit. The boys in blue, the whole crew. I do what they never think. So I'm headed for the 18th precinct, cause when they finally call it quits, I'll be there to cut the necks, and that's what I did. I hate a fucking pig. I'll get a job at the donut shop just to poison the cop. Ha! Kleptopathic, and I fucked you up in a straight jacket, cause they finally got me. Broke my legs and shot me, but I'm still laughing, cause of what happened on the night of the axe. On the night of the axe. Cause of what happened on the night of the axe. psycho. On the night of the X. Del psycho. Del psycho. Del psycho. On the night of the X.
The ghettos of America are breeding grounds for the criminal minded. As for years they killed one another off, and America has enjoyed its creation. Well, now these ghetto-minded criminals have crossed the line into your neighborhood and will soon give you a taste of the hell that they have lived for so long. So, Pops, this time it's your son who gets shot. Deal with your own creation.
Gotta go Night of the Axe. It was taken off the island version, and it was a shame that it was, because this song hard as fuck, man. Just Violent J just going on a rampage, fucking killing people with an axe, chopping people up, showing up to people's houses and shit. You know, you got the dog barking, the fucking the kid, you know, don't worry, little Joey, I'll get the bitch out, and fucking chopping her up. Like it, have another.
It's Ruthless J too. Innocent people is what I want. That's why I'm heading to the restaurant. Like, he always says it's like people that deserve it that gets fucked up in their songs. But back then, man, it was Ruthless. Anybody could catch it.
Yep. Yeah, he didn't give a fuck on this song. Innocent bystanders, all that shit. You're getting it.
Straight up. And like you said earlier, first portion of the Nine of series, which every song they've put out throughout this 30 years that they've done it has been dope in that Nine of series. I love every one of them. Nine of Red Rum, Nine of the Chainsaws, fucking dope from Mighty Def Pop. So yeah, it's one that really kicked off like that fucking series of songs.
Fuck yeah.
Moving on to track number 3 for me, Secondhand Smoke.
Don't even
talked about it. I don't know if I'd be sitting here doing this shit if I didn't hear that shit at Hollow Wicked 98. I'm sure I would have. Fuck Twiztid so fucking dope that I would have eventually heard it. But man, hearing that shit, man, I immediately went to the record store as soon as I got home to fucking get that shit. Secondhand Smoke got to be on the list for me.
Hell yeah. I love it. I love the samples on here. The Free Your Mind. That's like In Vogue, right?
In Vogue, straight up.
Yeah. Breathe it in. Secondhand
Smoke.
Yeah, I love this shit. They both kill it on that song. They just did a video for it a few years ago too, which is I like when people do that. Do like a video for an old ass song.
Yep.
It was fire, man. Just great way to start the album too.
It was dope because they were doing the Most Tasteless tour. So they were like wearing the Most Tasteless gear. Blaze had the fucking Blaze look from that era. So it wasn't just like 2017 Twiztid doing it. There was a throwback to like how they looked in that era. So that was a dope ass video.
Yeah, without a doubt. This shit is fucking fire. That Most Tasteless tour was fucking great. I loved when for those couple of years ICP and Twiztid were going and doing those shows, just performing albums, like those classic albums.
Yeah, we were talking about it before we went on the air with that Certified Psychos tour. That's what's so fun about it. It's a 2-hour concert, basically emceed by Blaze, Twiztid, and ABK. It's just a party. It's something we haven't seen. Some of us been around for 25. Some of them's even been around for 30 years at this point. So, you know, you want to switch some shit up, and that's what that shit does. That's what the album shows do. So, yeah, definitely dope whenever they throw that kind of flavor in.
Yeah, without a doubt. Number 4 of Carnival of Carnage, gotta go Psychopathic.
Well, I've been to the stone house and it's sun. Paid my debts, but I'm still a street hustler. Dropped out of school cause I couldn't find my locker. Stubbles on my chin, I got hair like Chewbacca. Might see me sleeping on the street. Don't look for a job cause there's no jobs looking for me. Then it all went to my head. Next day, 49 motherfuckers dead. Tell the pigs I did it. Place fun at your back and beat you in the head with it. And keep your bitch in place. Or I'ma send her ass home with a footprint on her face. I'm hating sluts. Shoot him in the face, step back and itch my nuts. Less them in a sack, cause I fuck so hard it'll break they back. All the pressure packed into one nut. I was waiting on a bus and my head blew up. And a sight'll make you sick. Violent J, motherfucker, Psychopathic. Psychopathic.
Thought you knew, bitch. ICP made up a psychotic, demented, psychocalyptic motherfuckers. And we might put a hook on your throat like it ain't nobody's business.
I'm standing by the train tracks. Then you see me running butt naked with a battle axe. I'm swinging and slicing and chopping and cutting and until I'm none. Seems like I always get beat down, like the hawk turned to the wicked clown. Tiptoe back to the ghetto zone, cause it's
Southwest Detroit, this demented one's home.
So you might see me at a festival, cussing rude and scratching my testicles with a cold 2-liter at hand. Rapping to the bitch at the French fry stand, take her to the patent park. Then I'll make a sexist remark, cause they're all eventually bitching. So if we fucking, take your ass to the kitchen. Police don't like me, it's obvious. Just don't look in the trunk, or the sight'll make you sick. Violent J, motherfucker, Psychopathic.
Some of that Fago over here. Like it up, man. Come on, man. You farted, didn't you? I should sock your ass, man. You farted.
What, man? What? Your license and registration. That's what, you little fuckface.
Hey, yo, man. Fuck you, you fat jelly-filled motherfucker. What the fuck out of the bitch, come on, man. Fuck you. Fuck you, man.
Yeah, I've always been a psycho.
Psycho.
Out throwing rocks at stray dogs, building crack houses out of Lincoln logs. I cut class sick, I was a faker. You was in school, I was home watching Green Acres. Now I'm all up in your face. You can barely hit a rat with all that bass. I'm running with a Southwest street gang, and I never let my Southwest meat hang. Cause you know what ICP's all about. Take a brick out the street and bust you in the mouth. Find a girl's daddy's rich, and his sweet little angel's my sewer freak bitch. But I throw the turkey out after the stuffing, like Billy Bill say, a bitch ain't nothing. Grab her by the arm and break it. Grab her by the life and take it. And you know, the sight'll make you sick. Violent motherfucker, psychopathic. Psychopathic. Come on. Psychopathic. Come on. Come on. Yeah. Psychopathic. Come on. Psychopathic. Bring it back now. Come on. Psychopathic. Bring it back now. Psychopathic. Yeah. Psychopathic.
Psychopathic. You got that sample in there. I love this shit. I love the intro to the song too. The ghettos of America are breeding grounds for the criminal mind. As for years they killed one another off, and America has enjoyed its creation. ICP just doesn't get their credit for their social commentary in their songs. Like you said with the Rebel Flag shit, like people are still talking about that shit today, and actually taking the Rebel Flag off state buildings and shit like that. But they were talking about this shit 30 years ago, talking about living in the ghetto because they didn't grow up well off either. They were on food stamps and shit as kids, so that they lived in that environment. And their social commentary on skits like that, in the beginning of the song. But the beat on here is just hard as fuck. You bobbing your head to that shit. The skits in the song too, they get pulled over by the cops. Just don't look at the trunk. Like this shit is fire.
Yeah, that's whenever it goes to the next level, when it goes from music to actual entertainment. Whenever you can picture that shit in your head. They're doing it so vividly. One of the classic storytelling things that Jay does.
Without a doubt.
Moving on to my 4 pick, Roan's favorite Twiztid song of all time. It's got to be on my top 5 as well. Renditions of Reality.
Straddle me, player haters wanna battle me, but I shed them all like calories. Prophecy preacher, lend your ear and I'll reach ya. And if you're willing to be taught, I'm a teacher. I'm not a people person. Truth is I can't stand too many people. So many fake the funk and perpetrating, call me evil. But evil is a harsh word. Tell the mockingbird that I said it. A man of my word, I won't regret it. If I let it get to me like it get to them, I'm no better. The same message over and over with different sender. Player hating is an art of a scandalous and shafty person. Some do it oh so well, I'll be damned if they don't rehearse it. Disperse it to people like me and you every day, and they expect the common man to turn his cheek and walk away. And now I pray for an end of the madness. No more sadness shall fall to my people that preside to be the fattest in all that they do and say, but overshadowed by a cloud turning night to day. It's so tremendous that you couldn't even walk away if you chose to. You even supposed to watch the ones you close to. Now that's insane. Tell me, will it change? I'm confused. Not a thing to lose. This shit is far from positive and saddens like the blues. Paying dues ain't the only part of duties that bestowed to the chosen. Spitting lyrics in the microphone and dodging player haters till my temper hit the ceiling. And this how they got a nigga feeling. I done fell into reality. Like a ton of bricks, I'm feeling so sick. One of my dogs passed and shit. I'm feeling like killing them all. But what's that solve? He still gon' be dead in the morning. Why take the fall? Inside, I'll be so mad I'm finna burst. Instead it's Chevys, my homies rolling in the back of a hearse. You know it's worse, it's too hard to cope with some days. Murderous ways leaving me shaking in the days. Comatose, completely toe up. Nerves be so bad, I wanna throw up. I'm about to blow up. need to talk, nobody wanna listen. On the corner, murder mind, stay conditioned. Overload, pull the trigger. Stress got the best of suicide. Pour out some liquor, another grave digger gets paid. Digging our grave for senseless ways. Keep to ourselves and stay paid. All of my dogs can't die. I visit the sky and reminisce when I'm high. I'm never gonna lie, I got love for my peoples, dead or alive, but we can smoke out in the ride in my memory. Dedicated to downriders, keep it in your clique, fuck the outsiders. People hating on everything, and everything's the same. Everybody is a player and life is a silly game. It's a damn shame, daddy died 11 years today. I wonder if he know I'm doing straight. Could you tell him something if you see my pops before I do? Let him know that he's remembered by my crew. And every day, in my mind, any place, anytime, looking in the sky for the seventh sign. I walk around, nobody knows what I do. Ceiling facing date rapes as my body transcends through this portal of life. Smoking blunts, wrong in my rights. I live for the night because I melt in the light, completely out of sight. For facts so unknown, so grotesque, never stated on microphones. So alone in this fucked up world, it sucks dick. Everybody got a problem with something, and you can bet I'll be the last one. More like the last dragon of sorts to ever let this world contort. The way of thinking is so essential. It gives us all the potential to take over the world and our mental. If I can't live my life the way I wanna live my life, then why can't I die? Why can't I die?
My rendition of reality.
One of those that you can listen to, and you don't even have to be a juggalo for that shit to hit you. It's so fucking dope, man. Like, I would play that shit once we got the jukebox at the bar that I worked at, where you could download songs from the internet and play whatever. I'd play that shit. People like would be nodding their head along to it, and I'd play like, you know, some kind of super juggalo song. People were like, turn that shit off. I have people like literally go and pay the extra like $2 to get their song jumped in front of me because they're tired of listening to juggalo shit. But this one, man, even like the fucking normies would listen to this shit and bob their head along to it. So renditions of reality had to be on my shit.
Classic song. I like the remix, you know, that was on Cryptic Collection that had like more of the pianos in it.
Pianos, yep.
That shit was fire, man. Renditions of reality. Like I said, if you feel like crying, just go bump that shit.
I remember in the book of Cryptic Collection, it said it was made for people that like to smoke weed and listen to the song. It's like it has extra pianos to mellow you out and shit. They're like, fire up a joint and listen to this shit.
Yep. Even the hook is a little bit different, but I love that shit. All right, number 5. I gotta go with the Posse Cut.
The time has come for the blood to run in the streets paved with gold. We have lived in the zoo of the ghetto for so long. And like animals, we'll kill each other with a hatred for others. We must move into the suburbs and punish the rich for their ignorance and the horror of death that is a part of our life in our neighborhood, and give them a taste of the same. And when we kill the government's children and the streets smell of death, maybe then we'll see our situation in a new light and put an end to the chaos in the ghetto and put an end to the killings.
Heard what's going on in the free world. Broke out the asylum and killed a girl. Just to warm up, just to get it out. Cause I'ma be cutting throats, trying to break it down. Can't nobody get me. I've always been a psycho and now they coming with me. Let's straight do real team the noggin about 30, 40 times. Psychedelic shit with the psycho rhyme. Let's keep it killing in one place. But I'm at your door, motherfucker, have a taste.
Fucking you up, won't let you pass. Fucking you up, shot you in the ass. Jumped out the alleyway with a motherfucking battle axe. Drop dead bodies on the motherfucking train track. I'm sick of this shit on my TV. They showing psychopathics and I see me. And you're calling me a homeless hobo while I'm laying on my suede couch listening to Mojo. Snipe you in the head from a tower, or chase your naked ass clean out the shower. Finally catch it on the block. Take this here gag, shoot you in the cock. Who you fucking with, Governor E? Don't you know I'll hang your dead ass from a tree? Yup, dead swinging by the foot. Mr. Drummer, look a bald-headed punk bitch. Strolled to the banquet party, drank all they broke, then shot everybody. They set it up wrong, created the ghetto and thought it wouldn't last long. Thought we'd kill each other off, didn't think we'd come to the suburbs, jack off. The clown stick his knife in your face, motherfucker, have a taste.
Candy train, do or die, done, be done with enough of our solutions, cause there's nothing but a wicked man. How many motherfuckers have I known through the years? Got their necks blown out, a cripple living in fear. And I'ma tell you, cause I've been on many scopes, but they miss, cause I'm drawn power from the vision of the artist. Raised with the crime, with nothing to eat, so my natural instincts to kill in the streets. But I'm above that, my set took caution. Jump steady, stepping over the government's brainwashing.
Take it further, take it further, take it far.
Don't let them even judge you, cause you know you are. Seems they don't even know about the inner city crime war. Money on the troops in the desert, what the fuck for? Damn, they're stupid, they're mindlessly balanced. Think I'd rather pay a little extra to the gallon and save a human life or two. And this get a war for the homies that I once knew. You're peeping out the bomb with your closed eyes.
You're peeping out the bellum with your closed eyes, ho.
I got a mind-killing rage, waiting for change. In the folds of my jacket, I cradle my gauge. What you gonna do when I show up at your place? Try north this time, motherfucker, have a taste.
You need a spoonful, in other words, a little taste. So let me feed you the city life at a steady pace. Wake up to gunfire thinking it was a dream, till you hear neighbors holler and a young child scream. Everyday thing, think you can take it. Just wait till you see that cracker at your front door naked, begging for money, acting like he know ya. You slam the door in fear, but someday he'll show ya. Catch you at gunpoint range, you're getting jacked.
Come on with it, bitch!
Now you don't know how to act, but that's life and experience as a mother. Happens every day, one after the other. But the suburb living is high class. Well, high class, let the city trade with your ass and show you the rough times. Hungry homeless people committing crime after crime, and bitches plumbing the pipes for dough. Then they run to the rock store to buy some rock snow. And I hear you making fun of that. ICP,
what's up, B?
Get your backs. It's time for you to crack some necks. And if they don't know now, show them what to expect. Cause it doesn't matter the race or the place, capital E, giving the inner city taste.
Yeah, we had it for Birmingham, Grosse Pointe, and Beverly Hills. I thought you knew, cause we in a devilish mood.
Guess who's rolling with the ICP? The black devil coming straight from the deep. I'm headed out to Birmingham, my temperature is burning, man. Looking for the governor to kill him, man, I think I can. Violent J, know the way, so I'm gonna get ya. If you're standing in my way, I'm getting with ya. The black devil, that devil you don't know. Getting more pussy than Belle Biv DeVoe. Hey man, do you know my name? I'm John with Lotus, not soul trained. So give me mine, cause it ain't about black and white. It ain't about wrong and right, I'm devil's night. I'm on a cross in your fucking face. Now homicide's got a new chase, so give me a taste.
So give me a taste, so give me a taste, so give me a taste, so give me a taste.
Just a little taste, just a little taste. Just have a little taste, have a little taste. Just a little taste, just a little taste. Just have a little taste, have a little taste. Just a little taste, just a little taste. Just have a little taste, have a little taste. Just a little taste, just a little taste. Just have a little taste, have a little taste. Just a little taste, just a little taste. Just have a little taste, have a little taste. Just a little taste, just a little taste. Just have a little taste, have a little taste. Just a little taste.
That shit is just so fire. They all kill it on there. It was my introduction to Isham, and Isham is just a fucking god in the wicked shit, just straight up. And the way the beat breaks down for Isham in this song, and the way he raps and he layers his vocals like he did back in the day, just great. But they all kill it on here. Jay, kick jazz, Shaggy, jump steady, capital E. Just a dope way to end the album.
And it allowed Eshawn to be able to say what he said on the 6th card. I was on the first Joker's card and the last. I am the wicked shit. That shit's dope.
First time I heard that, I was like, ooh, that's fucking fire.
Hell yeah. Moving on to my 5 pick. Speaking about fire, says it's probably my favorite song from this entire genre. Murder, murder, murder.
Nothing on pace and leave the scene without a trace. I'm looking dead to face, but she don't see me, I'ma notice. I head straight to her bedroom window for better focus. Hocus pocus, I see the doors unlocked. I let myself in, head for a room with plans of murder and mayhem. There she goes, there that bitch lay, living on this earth to my dismay. Time to pay. Palms are sweaty, I'm about to vomit. I grab the knife out of my belt and jab it in her stomach again and again, and now she's screaming like I can, but I could give a fuck less. Before she dies, I grab her by her blood-soaked hair and tell her shit's gonna be alright on my end. I'm glad it happened this way. Back in my daughter's life again, ain't it a shame that it came to this? Life goes on except for one less bitch. Ain't it a trip? Bodies in the hearse. Now your life's gone cause we wanted you to die. Tell me kiss your ass goodbye, don't ask why. Murder, 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 murder. You never heard of red bomb, make me thirst. Bodies in the hearse. Now your life's gone cause we wanted you to die. Tell me kiss your ass goodbye, don't ask why. It was Tuesday, December 24th, 97. Time on the clock, 1:11. Thinking about sending somebody to heaven. On the crossroads, the fate of a soul lies in my hands, I suppose. Now I'm wearing dark clothes, parked on the side street, keeping out the scenery, make sure nobody's seeing me as I move to the trunk of the stolen car, up to the back door with the crowbar. So far the plan's foolproof. Call from the phone booth, got the message machine, nobody's on the scene. Kicked in the back door, 134, looking for the family dog door. Kicked them in the door with the work boots, knocked a couple deep boots, smacked them in the mouth with my empty deuce. Then I smile, break his neck and watch him piss on kitchen towel. Never liked him since the day he tried to play me foul and tried to bite me. Stab a steak knife in his head. So much for that man's best friend. Now I'm all up in the place, in the bedroom, masturbating, coming on the sheets and pillowcases. Fuck that bitch, she's just a cunt, and the mother's nothing but a slut. Can't wait to seal her mouth shut. 2:30 she returns home from work. Nice blouse, tight shirt, business attire for this hooker for hire. Throw the keys to the table, saying, baby, are you home? Didn't expect to see bones, we're alone, and she's reaching for the telephone to call the police. Strangle with the cord, now deceased in the process of a suffocation. Finger fucked up for demonstration, let her know I know her many faces. Now she's dead in the closet, hanging out with all the winter clothes. In the struggle, suffered the bloody nose, but I'm straight though. As I move to the bathroom to wash my hands, it's all part of the plan. Don't think you understand, see? You never heard of red bomb, make me thirst. Bodies in the hearse. Now your life's gone cause we wanted you to die. Time to kiss your ass goodbye, don't ask why.
If you look up horrorcore in the dictionary, the lyrics of this fucking song and the sound of the beat and everything, the production around it, the delivery, the material that they're rapping about, it's all just textbook and done perfectly. It's gotta be on my fucking list.
So descriptive. It was Tuesday, December 24th, 97. Time on the clock, 1:11. Like, very descriptive, detailed, and they break it down on how to fucking kill somebody so perfectly.
Straight up. And do it to a beat. And I always talk about with storytelling songs, a lot of the times it sounds like the lyrics are forced in. I think of like Eminem, seems like he forces in a lot of lyrics in his storytelling. And not with this, man. This shit there's no point that something hits your ear and like, man, they forced that in for the story. This shit just went along perfectly, like you're listening to a fucking storybook.
The way the beat stops and breaks down for the hook too, a great way to break up the song and then bring it back in with that hard hitting beat for the verses. Love that shit.
Oh yeah, the production, man, just makes it stand out to go with those fucking lyrics that are delivered fucking perfectly.
Yep.
pretty much you could say both of these albums delivered fucking perfectly. There's not a bad song that I skip on either of them. So it's going to be difficult to get into this portion of the show as we're going to do our picks. What we think are the best album. Is it Most Tasteless or is it Carnival of Carnage? I'll get it started. For me, it's got to be OG Most Tasteless. Like I said, it made me a Twiztid fan. It's got so many fucking classics on it that still get performed to this day. My favorite song of all time from them's on it. It's got the posse cut. It's right there, nose to nose, Carnival of Carnage and OG Most Tasteless. But I'll go OG Most Tasteless for this one.
Man, like I said in the beginning of the show, like when you sent me the list of the albums that we're going to be that are going to go against each other, some are really hard, and this one right off the bat, the very first one,
straight
hard
up
as fuck, man. Because Carnival of Carnage doesn't get the flowers that it deserves. I think such a banger of an album, but I think I gotta go OG Most Tasteless as well, man. Like that was the first time I heard Twiztid. I've been down since literally day one, and it's just more. I think it's more nostalgia than with Carnival of Carnage. Just because it was the very beginning of Twiztid. You know, I wasn't there in 92 when Carnival of Carnage dropped. Still love it. Still a banger. Like you said, no skips on that album. But it's got to be Most Tasteless for me.
It's funny we said no skips on the album. The thing that set it over the scale for me for Most Tasteless to get the win is that Kid Rock's on Carnival of Carnage. I couldn't find any flaws with either of them. That's how desperate I was. I was like, Kid Rock's on Carnival of Carnage, give it to Most Tasteless.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny.
That's how close these two albums were, man. I listened to them fucking back to back, listening to the tracks, trying to figure out which one gave me a better vibe, which one was funner to smoke to, sing along to. They all got fucking classic live tracks. I was literally down to Kid Rock's on fucking Carnival of Carnage, so give me Most Tasteless.
Yep. Yeah, and like I said, Renditions of Reality, my all-time favorite Twiztid song. So that's another little tiny little notch just to put it over Carnival of Carnage.
Yep, same for me. Murder, 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 and Secondhand Smoker, my 1 and 2. So it's both on this album. And like I said, Kid Rock fucking got the point for Most Tasteless for me. That's how close they fucking were. What's important here, though, is we want to hear from the Juggalos. Like we said, we're just two people, man. I want to hear from the mass majority. Like when we did the Joker card rankings, I thought that was dope that we could actually see what the Juggalos think as kind of a mass instead of individually like we normally get it. So if you watch the show, I'm sure if you're watching the show, you've heard both of these albums fucking hundreds of times. Put your reasons that you think what album's better. Do you think it's Most Tasteless? Do you think it's Carnival of Carnage? Put a reason on there. If we think it's dope, we'll bring it up on the show next week and highlight it. Going to keep a running total. Right now, it's 1 for Twiztid from Rome, 1 for Twiztid from me. We'll see what the Juggalos score. We'll score those next week. Keep a running score going throughout the entire show. Like I said, it just so happens that it's 16 matchups, and if we need a tiebreaker to where it's 8-8, the 17th will be videos, and we'll do that one as well, and that would be the tiebreaker. So until next time, I want to remind you, check out Beneath the Dirt every Monday. Also, 5-piece every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on this very Fago Lovers Network, and a brand new edition of ICP versus Twiztid every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on this very Fago Lovers Network. Until then, for Rome Bone, I'm the Joker's Galley, and we out.
Let's get ready to rumble! Rainforest burning down, joy riots all around. I'm inside like fuck 'em all. What's the main event on Raw? Boys, mad cow disease. I get that with double cheese. STD steady spreading. Bear back up in this net.